Dear viewers, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be discussing the structure of a business letter. Kindly watch the video till the end, like and share. If you have any comments about the video, please put your comments in the comment box. Now, let's move to the presentation. Structure of a business letter. Here, structure is nothing but a layout. Say, for example, whenever you go for construction of a house, so you are going to take a blueprint or a plan from an engineer where you want to put your living room, bedroom, kitchen, like this here. In the same way, the structure is nothing but the layout. So it is a layout of proper arrangement of the various parts of a business letter on a letter. So that is what we call it as a structure here, or it is a layout here. So such various parts of a business letter are headline, date line or date simply, reference line, inside address, subject line, salutation, body of letter, complimentary clause, signature and seal, reference initials, enclosures, postscript. Now we will have a discussion of these parts of letters in detail. Headline. This is headline is nothing but a letterhead here. So here in case of this letterhead, a letterhead or headline, it contains numerous things such as a name of the firm. Say for example, if the firm name may be like Veerbhadreshwara Traders, address like say for example APMC Market Belagavi, telephone number, email, then the reference number. Here the reference number, with it indicates how many number of letters written by the firm in a year, and it also includes website like www.amazon.com or say for example www.decathlon.com. So it provides in other words to say a headline introduce about itself to the reader, and such a letterhead usually it is in a printed form. Every business firm or every office, they have got its own letterhead, and such letterhead usually it will be in a single color and in a single line only, and it also mentions the nature of the business also. Say for example, I previously told Veerbhadreshwara Traders. So Veerbhadreshwara Traders, which type of the business is carried on by Veerbhadreshwara Trader, that will be indicated in the form of nature of business. Say whether is it a grocery merchants or commission agents, or it may be like a hardwares, something like that. And this headline or letterhead should be very simple, it must be neat. It is wrongly typed as near, it should be neat. So it should carry a dignity, because it is nothing but a way of marketing itself to others here. Now let's come to the next one here, the date line. This date line should include the day, month and the year, and it should be always written on the right hand side of the letter. Some people, they make use of this date line even at the left hand margin, but the problem is that whenever a letter will be filed here, while punching there is a chance of missing of such date because of the punching of the letter here. So the proper form of writing a letter is a 10th May 2021. So when you look into this here, 10th is the day, May is the month, 2021 is the year. Some people, they write 10/521 or 10.02 2021. These are all the wrong methods of writing of the date. In the usual practice, the last thing may be carried, but it is a proper way of writing the date is to spell the day, month and year properly. Now let's look into the another one here, inside address. Here inside address indicates the name of the addressee. In other words, to say it is mentioning the name and address of the receiver. That means to whom the writer is writing such letter that is mentioned in such a inside address here. So it is the name, address of the receiver. It is written at the left margin. It can be written either in the block form or indent form. So here block form means everything begins at the left hand margin, and there is no punctuation in case of the block form. In case of the indent form, the first line of the receiver will start from the left hand margin, then the second line will start after leaving 5 spaces from the left hand margin, and the third line will be written after leaving 10 spaces from the left hand margin, and there is no punctuations at all. And in case of while writing the inside address, the titles can also be prefixed to the name of the addressee. For example, it may be like Captain, or it may be like Padma Shri, or it may be like Padma Vibhushan or Bharat Ratna. So like this, such titles or the ranks can be mentioned before the name of the addressee. Normally, such ranks are used in case of the personal letters rather than in the business letters. Now let's look into the reference line. So this reference line acts as a torch bearer of the letter. So this is the reference number which will help the addressee to mention the name of the previous letter before he writes a letter. That in other words to say, this will help in finding out on which date the letter was received, and accordingly the receiver or the addressee is going to react to such letter. And usually this is alphanumeric in nature. Say for example, it will be written like a number 225 bar / admission / 2021. So it indicates that 225 is the number of the letter written total till now. The organization has written 225, whereas admission is nothing but it is the section of or the department's name. Then 2021, it is the year in which such a letter is written. And such reference letter is very helpful in subsequent communication here. Then the next one comes here, subject line. Here subject line which provides the gist of the subject here. It gives a brief and quick indication of the subject of the letter. It is written below the salutation or above the salutation also, and it is placed in the middle of the page, and it will be written in a it will be made as a bold one. So it can either start the sub or subject. Then the next one comes here, salutation. Here salutation is nothing but it is a formal wishing in writing with which a reader opens the letter. It should be written just below the inside address at the left hand margin. So such salutation is written at the left margin. Here the usage of the salutation, it depends upon the type of the letter. If it is official letters, sir or madam is used in case of government official letters, whereas a dear sir or madam is used in case of business letters, and whereas the name of the letter like dear Prashant or dear Pratham or dear Pooja, it will be used in case of the letters of the personal in nature or informal in nature. Whenever there exists a close relationship between the writer and the reader, or the addresser and the addressee, so the name of the reader can also be used here. But in case of the business letters, it is only used in as dear sir or dear madam. Then the next one comes here, body of the letter. The body of the letter is considered as the heart of the letter. It provides the purpose for which a letter is written, And such a body of letter is divided into 3 paragraphs, namely introductory paragraph, main paragraph, and concluding or the last paragraph or ending paragraph. In the first paragraph, there will be self-introduction of the writer, or if it is already an existing relationship between the addresser and the addressee, then acknowledging the letter received, thanking for the acknowledge the letter received or thanking of the letter here. So whenever it is the communication takes place for the first time, in the first paragraph always introduce about the business of the writer. If it is already having an existing communication, then or existing business relationship, then acknowledgement of the letter will take place by thanking it here. Then it's in the second paragraph here, or in the what we call as the middle main paragraph, it is considered as the core of the subject matter. Here the main purpose of writing letter is achieved. Detailed information is stated along with the facts and figures, give comparison, proof, split the information into suitable paragraphs here. Explain the situation, why there is a delay in the execution of the order like this. Give adequate, clear, logical information in a friendly and impressive tone. Positive approach, cheerfulness, politeness, pleasure, gratitude, all should be there in this paragraph here. So whenever here the purpose of the letter is detailed in is discussed in detail, and in the concluding or the finishing paragraph, it is considered as the finishing part of the letter, and the finishing touch is given in this paragraph. And always such finishing will be done by putting some questions or the offers, or it may contain like a hope, future action, repeat request, and stimulate the action. So always the letter should be ended with a pleasure to serve you, welcome you early, an early reply, meets your approval, anticipate your an early order from you. Like this it will wind up. And in the next one comes here the complimentary clause. While writing, it is just like saying a goodbye to the reader here. It is written 3 spaces below the last line of the last paragraph and just above the signature near at the right hand margin. Even in case of in the block form, it is not American or some other country style. It is called as a block form. In case of the block form, everything will begin at the left hand margin. Right from the date or two till the last signature column, everything that will begin at the left hand margin. In case of indent form, here the from address will be written at the right hand margin. Then the salutation will be at the left margin, subject in the middle. Then body of the paragraph will be body of letter will be written in the middle here. Then complementary clause at the right hand side here. So it is usually written at the right hand margin, and there is a link between the salutation and the complimentary clause. So if the salutation is a dear sir or madam, then your complimentary clause should be yours faithfully or yours truly. Why? Because it is less formal. Yours truly is used only when there is intimacy between the addresser and the addressee. Then if the complimentary clause is a sir or madam, then the letter should wind up with your respectfully. This is used in addressing the superiors in the official correspondence. Whereas if the name of the addressee is used or the reader is used, like say for example, dear Ravi, dear Ramya, like this, then in such case it reflects in informal letters only. Yeah, in such case your complimentary clause should be yours sincerely. So whenever you make use of the name of the reader here, then it should the suitable complimentary clause is yours sincerely. But in a majority of the practically whenever you write a letter, yours faithfully is used, which is not acceptable. If it is a business letter, yours faithfully or yours truly is okay. If it is an official letter, it should be complimentary clause should be yours respectfully. Then if it is say for example name of the reader is used, then yours sincerely should be used. Then the next one comes here, a signature and seal. it is affixed below the complementary clause. This signature enables to assign the responsibility to the writer. In other words, to say, whenever a letter is signed by a writer, it means that the writer agrees to the content of the letter. It is the assent of the writer to the subject matter of the letter here. It should be always handwritten and in ink. But in the modern days, you may be knowing, in case of the LIC receipts, there will not be any signature whenever you pay online. So the digital signature can also be used in case of in the modern days here. Then the initial of dictator of the letter and the person who types the letter, both their name, both the initials will be written. For example, if it is AVK stands for the initials of the one who dictates the letter, whereas the PDK stands for the person initials who type the letters. But nowadays, this typing and dictation is almost, it's an end job. Only in case of, say for example, in case of official correspondence it is used. In case of the business correspondence, normally it is not used because of the advent of the technology of the computers. So everybody directly they start typing only instead of dictation. Then the next one comes here, enclosures. Enclosures are nothing but the documents attached to a letter. This helps the mailing assistants to check the contents of an envelope and also to ensure that nothing is omitted from the envelope. It is written as ENCL if there is only one document is attached. If more than one document is attached, then it will be written as ENCLs for the plural. Then the next one comes here, the postscript. It is something which is written after the end of the letter. It is written as a PS after the signature and name and designation of the writer. But normally this is not an advisable practice. It indicates that the writer is lacking of planning while writing a letter here. So this is not a good practice to write PS, because before a writer writes a letter here, it must be properly planned. So then only it can be put here. So though the postscript is there, but it is not advisable to make use of the postscript in a business letter here. Thank you.